Hello. Okay, so I'm installing an auxiliary fuse block. It's a marine block like a Blue Seas. They are available usually at your local RV supply place. So if you do have something like RV or boat supply, trailer, RV, and boat type supply warehouse, or just an outlet, they'll usually have one of these. It's basically, this has a cover. There's all types of labels that you can put on here to label whichever one you want for whichever unit. Now one of them will be this, which is these two 8-inch Cepek lights. They're 150 watts each, so you know, they pull quite a bit of amps. They're gonna but I believe it's a 20 amp fuse it requires. That's my inline here now for that, going to this relay, which goes to a switch in the dash and also has constant. So the constant will come out of where it's running from here to here, and instead it'll run from here to the relay. That's one thing. Then I'm running two auxiliary outlets, one inside of the cab, right by the stereo, basically on my actually by the console. I'm going to have one of the 3 type facing upward, directly off to the side of the console, where the up-down window switches, all that are. Reason being, I don't want it on the dash. I don't want to have to reach for it. I want a little more convenience. And then I'll also have one on the rear inside. Basically, it's hard to explain. I'll show later in the sun that I'll have another auxiliary 12-volt car outlet on the back, on the bumper, and what I'll do is have a quick release on that, weatherproof, and I'll be able to just plug a 2 pins in instead if I want to run my 750 watt one, which doesn't, you're not recommended to use a car type adapter, the round plug, because it will melt the plug. So I will be running 4-gauge wire, only one after this, instead of having several off of my battery, to this right here. And then from there, each of these has a fuse, each one of these posts, and I'll run the 2 into the cab for the auxiliary. The other one will go out the back. I'm probably going to run it down underneath and to the back, along the, I have clips that'll actually hold it into the chassis, keep it up out of the way from hanging and all that. And then I will run 2 of them to my amplifiers, to the stereo, and one will have its own inline fuse aside from this one, because it's 40 amp and these are rated at 30, so I will have a separate fuse to break before this, so I don't blow this up or surge back to the battery. And then another one will be for power antenna, and then I'll have a free one. So so far that's what I'm using this for. I might change it up and wind up with a 12 post or something like that. I decided to do it right onto the fender because I don't do a lot of, I don't really do a lot of mudding or anything like that, and when I do, it's not up to the fenders. And even if I do, it has enough of a cover to protect it. Everything else will be heat shield protected up to here. And so this also, by the way, has a space for 2 extra fuses. So so this is mounted very securely. I actually have a type of frame that I'm going to use, which will be something like this, to the fender, to raise it up a little bit, but not now because I have other things to do in here. So considering I'm not going to be going up to the top of the engine through creeks and everything in the very near future, I will just leave it there for now. So the bolt holes will go in the same place as that one, actually on this one right here, so on these corner ones, so into the fender and then on the top, so I can put two of those together and wind up with a nice riser to keep that off and up and off. It'll right about right here when I'm done. This I actually put through with some good stainless machine screws, sealer, and they're right here. So they barely protrude, and I found some little lock washers and flat washers, a kit that I actually got at the 99-cent store, but they are stainless and they're a brand name, can't remember the name. So it worked out fine to install it there. That's it on that for now. I had to come out and get something done because I'm getting stir crazy. So and then next, coming up soon, I will do another video on the installation of the wires, the installation of the amplifiers to the stereo and subwoofers, to the 4 speakers for a 4-channel, and the subwoofers, which wears my 4-channel and 2-channel on the bottom. And there's my JL sub. So I will do videos, instructional video for all of that stuff, and then how to run these wires as well with heat shrink and soldering and doing it properly.